I'm an old academic, and so I'm a glutton for punishment. So when this thing arrived in my iPad, request, would I please read this and comment on it? So I was, of course, as an old tutor, I'm used to reading people's essays. So I better read this. And then I sort of, I said to this gentleman that if I have to give an opinion, I have to read every word that you have written, because that is sort of my practice. And so he sort of agreed to that. And of course, I thought, given that he was attached to the library, the Theology library, I had imagined a nice old man with a big beard, aged, read lots of books, and respectable, and I had to bow down to it. I didn't know it was a nice young man, who had done all this hard work. So it's even doubly impressive that he has done this amazing piece of work. Now, I'm not going to say anything more than that, because we want some nice, strong argument this evening about what is obviously a very important issue for politics in this country. And I shall leave it to other people to deal with that. And I shall, when I sum it all up, I'll give you my views. I can assure you, when I give my views, you can always say, if you don't agree with me, this man is a foreigner. He's no good. What does he know about India? If you agree with me, you say, isn't he nice? He still remembers India. So either way, we'll be all right. Okay? So thank you very much. And once again, I congratulate the author on this brilliant book. And so let's proceed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much for your patience and sort of forbearing. I have been listening to this debate in a very interesting way, because I have for a long time studied India, although I live far away. And in my book, Rediscovery of India, which I don't think anybody should have read, but I describe what happened in 1965. Mr. Annadurai, in the 1962 Lok Sabha, on his maiden speech, said, partition is going to come this time, but it is going to be a friendly partition of the South from the North, because you are going to impose a language on the South. This was said by Annadurai in Lok Sabha on his inaugural speech, because the whole issue of language was so tough for the South that the South was really thinking of seceding. It did not happen for a very simple reason of the Chinese invasion. When the Chinese invasion happened, a whole country said, forget about everything, North and South doesn't matter, we are one country. Okay? But my position in that book is that India is a multinational nation. It's a nation, it's a collection of many nations. Every linguistic state thinks of itself as a nation. And we are putting together. So you have to respect the dignity of every nation and its right of being part of the Indian Union. And therefore, my sort of feeling is, don't put constraints on the solution before you start negotiating with people. Don't start by saying, well, we have got 545 seats now, but we can't have more than 700 seats, and 700 have to be allocated among the people, and those virtuous ones who limited their population will be punished, and those bad ones who did not will be rewarded. None of that. No, there are no constraints necessary. There are no trains leaving stations. We have to have a solution of this problem, which is such a solution that the next time around we have to do this thing, we can once again do it. Because this problem has been postponed for far too long. Government after government has looked at it and said, oh my God, we don't want to do this, let somebody else do it. Now my view is, listen, I sit in a parliament of a 60 million, the population of the country is 60 million, and there are 800 plus members of the House of Lords. On any day, if there is a vote going on, about 400 turn up. They don't all sit together, they all, I mean, the idea that somehow, we can only have one per, so 10 million. No such constraint, unnecessary. Don't beat yourself up. This is a prosperous country, it's a successful democracy, and it is going to be a developed country. So there is absolutely no reason to pretend that, we are poor and we can't afford this. There was a time when people said, if we have too many children, we'll be destitute. Now we have demographic dividend. If you have children, we get demographic dividend. Children are an asset. They are not a liability. So I think India should stop worrying about constraints which have been imposed in the past, which are utterly irrelevant. And say to yourself, now, let us now have, suppose, take one seat per million voters. Okay? That's one. But given that criterion, let's also add a side condition that no state will get fewer seats than before, either absolutely or proportionately. Okay, and these things are difficult to do, but it's a linear programming problem. It can be solved. But basically, don't put constraints. First of all, to work out what is the easiest solution. And I think there's no reason why the Lok Sabha should not have 900 people. I mean, the House of Commons has 650 people in their thing. We have 800. We are trying to get rid of some of them from the House of Lords. But so the idea that somehow there is a rationing. Build another parliament house somewhere, there is no problem. But I think what people must do is make quite sure that no state, east, west, north, south, Assam, Manipur, whatever, feels deprived at the end of this thing because they say, but this amendment was passed in 1981 and that amendment is so important that we can't change the amendment. My God, we've been changing amendments in the Constitution day after day, anytime it suits us. This Constitution has been amended more than almost any other Constitution I know of. So don't, just basically think of what is the best friendly solution to the problem, forget about amendments, forget about articles, and have a consensus built so that we can have a thing. Because not just this time, the next census, you will once again have the same problem. So have a institutional setup, like we have a finance commission, have a delimitation commission, which will constantly sort of monitor the problem of delimitation. Why not do that? Then have this sort of long discussions and people feeling hurt and upset. So I think my only thing is, this is a great book, but what this book says is that this is not the way to go about solving a problem. This is a very intelligent country, full of statisticians and full of very, very clever people. We can solve the problem, and we only need patience and goodwill for each other, and this problem can be solved. Okay? That as a foreigner, I'm telling you, and I'm sure I'm right.